Why are you excited to be here tonight?
Because I'm just excited.
Yeah. No other explanation. Now, I do believe, tell me the truth, is it true that your dad has a ringside seat but didn't get you guys ringside seats?
That is true, but it's because of his YouTube channel, okay? It's his YouTube, okay?
Her dad's an influencer. Let him go, guys. But your dad's awesome, right?
Yeah.
See, he's awesome!
Mi gente, you already know who it is. It's the radioactive pop with Dane Limelight, United Wrestling Network World Heavyweight Champion. And make sure you tune into the Alliance Blog every week. You heard it here first. Straight from Poppy.
The Alliance Blog, the Alliance Blog, the Alliance Blog, the Alliance Blog. Alliance? If you put an S in front of Alliance, you have Silas. That's me.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the pre-party. Not with Kevin Owens, but with J-Cal, damn it. That's me. I'm J-Cal, not Kevin Owens. As many people think I am Kevin Owens for whatever reason. On TikTok, they're trying to brand me as a Timu Kevin Owens, I think. Anyways, this is the pre-party, and each and every Tuesday I come to you, that hashtag NWA fam, to talk all things National Wrestling Alliance. And I'm here with my hashtag NWA fam. What is up, everybody? I hope you're having a beautiful Tuesday. I got to go to the gym this morning, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I'm wearing the old NWA retro shirt. Now, some people could buy this on the shop, right? You go to the NWA website, you could go to their shop, and you could buy a licensed NWA merchandise t-shirt. But I got this one like about 20 years ago. No, not 20, 15 years ago. And until recently, this guy didn't fit, but because your boy's been hitting the gym hard. He's been saying his prayers, eating his vitamins, and all that good stuff. The shirt fits again. So I'm excited about that. I just asked my son that same question. Survey says one more for the good guys. What do you mean by that, Matthew Underwood? What do you mean one more for the good guys? What are you talking about, Matt? And by the way, no Deadpool Wolverine spoilers. I'm going tomorrow night. My oldest daughter, Lily's taking her pops, her dad, to see Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm very excited about that. I'm a big MCU nerd. I love the MCU. I know a lot of people are like, it's hit and miss. But, when I was a kid, I could not get enough of that whole Marvel Cinematic Universe. We didn't have superhero fatigue. We didn't have a ton of superhero movies. So I watched everything that came out, and I liked it. And as such, now that we are in this dawn of the superhero franchises, mainline that into my vein, daddy. I'm looking for more movies like that. I'm excited. I'm excited to see Wolverine. I'm excited to see Deadpool. Don't ruin it for me, damn it. I haven't been this excited about a movie in a while, and if you ruin it for me, you're dead to me. All right, so what that means, and then Matthew Underwood says, yeah, you look like Kevin Owens. I intentionally wore a cutoff shirt in my last TikTok video to try to look like Kevin Owens. I think I succeeded. It was pretty awful. Willie Bowen. Okay, first of all, if you guys are new to the show, Willie Bowen is a longtime NWA fan, and he's been with us since day one, and always has some sort of joke, usually pertaining to former NWA World Heavyweight Champion Tyrus, because nobody liked Tyrus. And Willie says, hey, J. Cal, it's almost the NFL season. Will Tyrus be one of those blimps during the aerial shots of SoFi Stadium? And it's funny because Tyrus is a very large fella. He's a big dude. Willie says he's biased towards the DC comic universe. Hey, they're doing some good things with James Gunn over there too. They just announced the new logo. I mean, they're working on the new Superman movie. I'm excited to see it. I really am looking forward to it. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we are the show of record, the pre-party, your pre-show for the NWA Power. If you haven't watched it yet, you can watch it after you hang out with us. So let's talk a little bit about the NWA, right? Because there's a lot of things happening right now. First and foremost, we did play our clip of Sal the Pal, promoting our podcast here above the show. And I wanted to mention that Sal kind of needs our help. And if you guys are able to help out, his family is in desperate need of some help. Now, the WWE's Seth Rollins has actually stepped up big time and really helped out Sauronar's family. But he was basically on July 3rd, Sal was told that his family would have to vacate their home, a home that they lived in for the past 14 years. His options are very limited. And of course, no one expects to have to get up and move like that with a very little warning. He was looking for some help. You guys, I'm going to put the link on our YouTube channel. You guys could click it through there, I believe, in the comments. But yeah, it's a really sad situation because, he's a good dude. He deserves better than that. And, I feel bad for him. Where I live, if someone made me get out and move tomorrow, I would be dumbfounded. I wouldn't even know what to do. It's pretty terrible. If you got kids, your kids get used to going to the same schools. They have their friends in the neighborhood, and then you just have to uproot them because your landlord decided after 14 years it's time to go. I think that's rough. That's real rough. So if you can help Sal's family, great. Click the link in the chat. If you can't help, well, then just allow, maybe share it on your social medias because Sal's a good dude. See, I told you they call me Kevin Owens from Temu. An unknown user just posted that on TikTok. So that's awesome. That's great. It used to be Kevin Owens from Wish, but I feel like I dropped down a little bit. So now it's Kevin Owens from Temu. Maybe when I was a little bit more heavier, maybe when I was 10 pounds heavier, I looked more like it. My pal Shogain is here, also known as the Great Hisa. He says konnichiwa. And Shogain, I don't say it enough. If it were not for Shogain and his Wrestling Title Histories website, I probably would have never started the Alliance blog and never would have started alliance-wrestling.com. He was a huge inspiration for that. Him and Steve from SoCal Uncensored really kind of opened that door for me. So, yeah, I do appreciate him checking out this silly little pre-show, little live stream here on YouTube. But you guys got to check out his website as well. Mad says 2 years ago today, Damage Control formed. I believe that was in the WWE Damage Control with Bailey and Asuka and Io Sky, I think. And no, I don't acknowledge Solo Sikoa as my tribal chief. I don't acknowledge Solo. Although, you know what's crazy is I got to see Solo Sokoa, Sefa Fatu, if you will, back when he was on the Indies. And it was pretty cool to see him back then and to see where he is now, as head of the table, if you will, for the bloodline stable in the WWE. But we're not here to talk WWE. We're here to talk the NWA. And no, I do not have any Kevin Owens ring gear. I wouldn't know what to do with Kevin Owens' ring gear. I have my own ring gear that I wore when I was in high school for wrestling. Does that count? It was a singlet. It's like a size 4 too small now, but well, thanks for checking us out today. Okay, so getting back to the chat here, Matthew Underwood says, my son says, my dad said that Thrill versus Ben Bishop and the Southern Six go for the 6-man tag belts and a triple finisher double suplex with a springboard elbow drop called the Southern Six in the live stream yesterday. Ben Bishop is certainly enjoying your adulations. And it's funny because I saw that Matt Cardona even acknowledged and said that he was impressed by Ben Bishop. So we'll see what happens with that. That's kind of cool. Although I don't think Ben Bishop has done anything with the NWA. He's certainly the right kind of guy for the NWA. Big, super heavyweight. And that'd be a lot of fun, I think. Jeremy says, good afternoon, Alliance fam. Thank you for joining the pre-party with JCal. If you're enjoying the content, how about leaving a thumbs up, share, and a comment after the stream? It all helps the algorithm. Al Gore's rhythm really does dictate what you see on YouTube. And I do appreciate you guys when you do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We just surpassed 1,000 on the Lucha Libre page that I started. Veamos Lucha Libre, all in Spanish, mostly from matches in Mexico City, or Tijuana, 2 places I've been to see Lucha Libre. I'm going to be there Saturday as well to check out Lucha Libre AAA as they partner with EWM in Tijuana, Mexico. And I'll be there rooting my guy, Mecha Wolf, who will be standing across the ring from Marty Scurll, which makes me don't feel so good. Sean Mega's in the house. What is up, Sean? Hope you're doing well today. David Valentine with the fake news of the day. Breaking news. This is not real news, first and foremost, just so you guys know. Former VP of the NWA, David Lagana, starts his own wrestling company, the NWA 2. Lagana, NWA 2 will battle Billy Corgan, NWA 1 for fans. JCal, will you support NWA 1 or NWA 2, and why? Well, David, I think that, first of all, there's only one NWA, and it is owned by William Patrick Corgan. Now, if David Lagana were to get back into the sport of pro wrestling and start doing the whole process of promoting wrestling events or being a part of a wrestling promotion, I certainly would be interested in what they're doing because I felt like Dave Lagana was a good mind for the business, and I feel like the NWA under Billy Corgan and David Lagana and David Marquez is a lot of fun. Somebody on the TikTok asked why AAA keeps hiring the roaches of society, and it's pure and simple, man. It's a numbers game. They're hoping to get as many eyeballs on the product as they can. Marty Scurll, I know that he did not break the law, but it was kind of a unsavory thing that he did. I don't like that. They're also using Alberto El Patron from the WWE. Again, he did some things that were very unsavory and very icky. And if it wasn't for my pal Mecha Wolf being there, I probably would have skipped this show. But Mecha Wolf, I feel, is like such a great talent. Plus, it helps me create content for the Veamos Lucha Libre channel. And there's other talents that are there that definitely will benefit from my support. So not just mine, but everybody's. Power was good. I haven't watched Power yet, Sean. I don't normally watch Power before the pre-party because I like to think of this as the pre-show, So if we're doing this as a pre-show, then if I know what happened, it's kind of it's not as fun, right? I like to be surprised when I'm watching it, and I like my reactions here to be pretty genuine. Jeremy says Ben Bishop, captain of the Meat Pop Express. Meat Pop Express? I used to be in a band called Meat Pop Express. Matthew Underwood says, I'm sorry, we meant Southern Sky. Southern Sky is a great name for a wrestling move, that's for sure. Noob says, last week on the Alliance Guys podcast, you definitely talked about the men's division, but boy, I have a lot to say about the NWA women's division next week, especially about Natalia Markova. Yeah, we'll be doing that next Thursday, as we talk about the NWA. As we are grading the competitors. We're grading the wrestlers of the NWA. Jeremy says, boo that man, Marty Scurll. Ridicule him endlessly. Keep the kids away from him, most importantly. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not defending the guy at all. He's not a good person. Sean Mega says, I am not convinced Joe Alonzo is gone. Just putting that out there. I mean, look, I think at any time he could come back. I don't think it ended on a negative way. I think he asked for more money, and I think Billy, said no. I mean, what are you going to do, right? It's a matter of, if you value yourself at a certain spot and your boss doesn't see that same value in you, then you go find other means of making that money. I mean, the NWA is far from the only wrestling promotion on the planet. Joe Alonzo could probably pick up a lot more dates working the independents and having opportunities to work dates with AEW or, not behind the scene, but like work with WWE enhancements, or maybe even landing a job with TNA Wrestling or MLW. An exclusive deal with the NWA prevents him from doing any of that. So maybe he just feels like he has a better opportunities on his own than under contract. And that's completely fair. And I think Billy understands that too. And that's not to say that he won't be back at some point. Right now he sees more value in himself, and he's betting on himself. I think that's kind of poetic and beautiful in the world of pro wrestling. If someone has an opportunity to do that, I celebrate them. Yeah. Nick Nemeth doesn't mind wrestling Patron. Nick Nemeth is a professional, man, and say what you will about that guy, but he's all business. And I've seen him, wrestle Game Changer Wrestling. He's been in New Japan Strong. He's wrestling for TNA Wrestling, obviously winning the World Championship. He's competed in AAA. I mean, he's going to go wherever the matches are for him and wherever he can make his living too. Not unlike Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona famously, will take that paycheck for just about anything. I mean, if the money's right, the money's right. And in a business, in a world where we have to take advantage of these opportunities, you got to. A lot of people think I look like Kevin Owens on TikTok. Let's see. Will we ever see NWA from the other territories? I love NWA Joe Kazana Promotions. I said this since I saw the first episode of Joe Kazana Promotions. That is how you do the NWA. I feel like NWA Power is great. Let me take a step back. Not great. It's a good example of what Billy Corgan's vision of the NWA is. But to me, my vision of the NWA is more like Joe Kazana Promotions. I think he gets it right. I wish Billy Corgan would listen to him a little bit more often, because I feel like that's the right NWA. It's not supposed to be in competition with AEW or the WWE. It never will be. But wrestling with a little bit more of a serious side to it, I think that would be great. And I enjoy it a lot. Sean Mega, I'm jumping around a little bit. Sean Mega says Exodus looks fun. I think so too. I think what EC3 is doing with Exodus Pro is a lot of fun as well. I think there's a lot of good things coming from there. And we're going to talk a little bit about Exodus Pro momentarily. But I do like that. Kevin Owens accused me of photoshopping his pic onto the Alliance Fam shirt. Just saying. I screenshotted that tweet that you put about Kevin Owens, and that's J-Cal from the Alliance blog. I plan to use that in other places to help grow the social media. But David Valentine says, hey, Marty Scurll can change and become a better person. Hey, I'm all about second chances. I really am. You have to be sorry to be forgiven, and you have to seek redemption in order to be redeemed. And I don't know that Marty Scurll's done that, at least not publicly. And it just kind of feels like it all got swept underneath the rug. So I don't know. I don't feel great about that. David says that, oops, that's not it. David also says that Kylie and Kenzie signed with Ohio Valley. They just officially announced that they inked their deals with the no, I don't think Velveteen Dream will ever be back in the WWE. Going back to Kylie and Kenzie, they did officially announce that they have negotiated their deals with the NWA, and I think that they'll be a part of the NWA for the next year, at least. Yeah, Jeremy, we're working on it, man. I mean, we're almost at 5,000 here on YouTube. We are working hard to grow this channel, and we have some great, brothers in arms here. Jeremy at one point was hosting the Other Alliance Guys podcast with our good friend Tim and our good friend Dave Scooby, and hopefully these guys will come back at some point to do some more NWA talk, United Wrestling Network talk. Some big things are happening for United Wrestling Network. I'm so excited. I can't talk about it, but ooh, doggy, when stuff hits the fan, it's going to be great. Saran is from Twitch. What's up, man? Or woman, or non gender specific greeting. I hope you're doing well. Willie says, I want to see wrestling from other NWA territories on YouTube. I do too. I think that's a smart move. I honestly don't know why they haven't just galvanized the entire NWA territory system and put that on the NWA YouTube channel. You could track the analytics. You could distribute the cash to the promotions who are making the money. Jeremy, I definitely will. And greetings from Southern California, Lithuania, huh? My uncle Nikita came from Lithuania. Let's see. I miss the Other Alliance Guys. Matthew, I do too, man. I really enjoyed listening to the Other Alliance Guys on my way home on Wednesdays. I felt like they had a lot of good things to talk about. And the fact that they slanted differently and talked more about the United Wrestling Network and Major League Wrestling, I felt was so cool because it really broadened the horizons of this channel. And I learned a lot about MLW from those guys, especially Dave Scooby, who was literally at almost every show. We're getting off topic here, and that's okay because, I kind of run the show, so it doesn't matter if I go off topic. But, we were mentioning some of the contracts that have been signed, of course, just announced recently. Taylor Rising has re-signed, I say re-signed. She inked a contract. We also know that the Immortals have officially inked their contract. So that roster is getting greater and greater. Of course, I mentioned Kylie. And Kenzie signed her contract recently as well. So a lot of talent are now under contract, which I think is good for the NWA. You can't let these talent, you just can't. It's not going to benefit anybody if they do. So we'll see how that continues to grow. When the NWA talents are given the opportunity to leave, the smart business decision is to leave for the money. You got to. If you have a family, you got to take care of your family. It's just like anything else. Money talks and everything else walks. So I get it, but for the NWA, I think it's a much greater business decision to lock these talents up, have them on the roster, and let the show continue to grow. More of your guys' comments. The TV title match was trash. Roz, I haven't seen it yet, but you're breaking my heart over here. Ella Envies should be the next women's TV champion. I was rooting for her. Taylor is a solid keep for the women's division. I agree, Jeremy. I think that Taylor, I think the best term to describe Taylor is versatility. Because right now Taylor's mostly competes as a babyface. She has teamed with Markova in the past. And I think that pairing would make for an excellent tag team in the NWA roster. Of course, we have just surpassed 200 days of the King Bees being the NWA Women's Tag Team Champions. 200 days. They won it shortly after the Crockett Cup. Them winning the titles is a big deal. The problem is there's nobody to really challenge them. Of course, we've seen the makeshift tag team of Ruthie J and La Rosa Negra to team up to try to snatch those titles away, have been unsuccessful. We've seen the makeshift tag team of La Princesa, Tiffany Nieves, and Reka Tahaka. They've teamed up together again with very unsuccessful, what's the word I'm looking for? Unsuccessful opportunities. They haven't been able to procure the tag team titles. So as we look at it now, there is there's really only one tag team in the NWA's women division, and that is the King Bees. Let's see. Sean Mega says Kratos and Wrecking Ball Legursky need to be solo. Again, wouldn't be against that either. Kratos has spent most of his time in the NWA as a tag team wrestler, so it doesn't surprise me that he works more with the tag team. Of course, former world tag team champion with Aaron Stevens, and later being a tag team, U.S. tag team champion with Odinson. So I mean, I wouldn't mind Kratos getting a run as a singles competitor. And Wrecking Ball Legursky, I feel, is such a good talent. I feel like he, not the short side Jay Bradley at all, but I wish they would drop that goofy stuff and go more serious in their conquest for tag team success. Chris Drummond says, be honest, do you see the NWA signing a bigger name but not huge name, i.e. a Trevor Lee or Alan Angels? No, I don't. And it's because it's simple business. It's a return on investment, your ROI. What value does Alan Angels bring or Trevor Lee bring to the NWA? Are they going to sell more live event tickets? Are they going to sell more merchandise? What does it cost to sign Trevor Lee? What is his annual salary going to take to sign him? And then are you going to be able to make enough money off of merchandise and live event ticket sales to justify that? I mean, Trevor Lee is great. There's a lot of good talents out there, but if you're not going to produce enough to bring that money in, like, what's the point? Signing Silas Mason, who's a veritable unknown in the world of professional wrestling, although has a great pedigree in the sport. And obviously we could see how great his promos are and how much he's developed over just a short amount of time. Like, that's a better place to spend your money on. And of course, as he grows as a competitor, you're going to have to pay him more. But yeah, I just don't see a reason to sign a Trevor Lee or an Alan Angels. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me at this point. Let's see. Will other wrestlers from other NWA territories, will they be on Power? I mean, we know that they will be. We know that the shows that are airing right now on Power were filmed back in April. After these shows, then we will, the next 3 shows from April, then we'll go to the format of the Return of the Indies, which is going to feature talents from all across the territories. And like, we've already seen some of these guys, like the Stu Crew, have recently showed up on TV. A lot of guys from Joe Kazana Promotions and Exodus Pro and FTW, like Mario Perdua. I mean, we're going to see more and more talent make it onto Power. But also, it's one of those things where they don't have that many bodies. There's too many bodies, I should say, for as little TV time as they have. I want the NWA to sign WOW as a territory. I mean, there is a wealth of talent there, and there's a lot of things that would make sense with that. But at the same time, the most important speaking point to all of that is ego. Whose ego do you have to stroke to make that make sense? And as of right now, I don't think there's anybody who is willing to do that. I don't think that you have somebody. Is Jeannie Buss going to bend the knee to Billy Corgan? I mean, they're both superstars in their own right, and I just don't see like that being a big deal. I don't see them being able to work together is what I meant to say. She reminds me of Taylor Wilde from back in TNA. Yeah, I see that, Jeremy. Don't care about the NWA Women's TV title match. Like, who's going to take the Women's TV title? Maxie Impaler is an imposing figure, of course. It's going to take something to remove the belt off of Max, whether that be Max cashing in for the Burke, or Max losing to somebody else by hook or by crook. I don't know. I've always said it, that Max being champion really bottlenecks the division. It makes it worse when Max is both the men's television champion and the women's television champion simultaneously. Devin Dowling's in the house, better known as Double D. He says half an hour left in the MLB trade deadline. I have zero hopes that anything's going to happen with my Angels. I love the Angels. I just don't. It's not their year. It's not going to be their year for a while. Matthew Underwood said AJ should be a single star and the ROI equals Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, I think, is a guy that could bring some ROI. I think Bobby Lashley is a guy who has the value because he's a former world's heavyweight champion, not just in TNA wrestling, but the WWE as well. And if you put him into a program with EC3, and I think we were discussing on Discord about the Hurt Business. If the Hurt Business came to the NWA, as a unit, MVP, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, I mean, that would be very, very dominant. And I don't see anybody who could really push them aside. But even if they weren't coming as a group, if you had maybe Bobby Lashley and put G's as his, spokesperson, as his voice, I mean, he does all his talking he does is in the ring. That's all he needs to do. I don't know that there's anyone bigger, better, or badder out on the independents who has more of a decoration than Bobby Lashley. So, yeah, I would be really good with Bobby Lashley coming to the NWA. I'm not holding my breath for it, I think he's going to go wherever the biggest paycheck is, but I think that he definitely could bring value to the NWA. Matthew Underwood says Max Double Reign has been a complete letdown, not the workhorse a TV champ should be. I agree. And, I know it's easy for people to pin it on the fact that Max is non-binary and that Max holds two different titles. Like, look, my problem with Max is that you're the champion. That title, more than any other title, should be defended all the time. All the time. Both titles. It should be at least once a month. And we're talking about the first title defense after Mims, which was from the first event of the year, is now against Ella Envy, which was filmed in April. But, that was April. That means there was basically 3.5 months between the last title defense. And it wasn't televised until now we're in July. So it's 6 months since the last televised title defense. To me, that doesn't speak well of how the NWA views that division. It's an afterthought. And the problem with it is there's a lot of talent in the women's division, but what do you do with them? You have a singles champion who is really taking on all comers, and then you have a tag team where they can't get enough good tag teams to face the champions, and then you have the TV title, which is kind of stuck in limbo. So for those of you who are watching on TikTok, my battery is about to die, so thanks for joining us, but I think it's about to run out over there. Back here on YouTube, Willie Bowen says the Beast from WoW would want the Burke around her waist. I think the Beast from WoW would be a very interesting addition to the NWA roster. I'm just not holding my breath. Again, I don't feel like there is a lot going on with a WoW and the NWA partnership. Now, I would have thought about that differently last year, but I think at this point, if it was going to happen, it would have happened already. I just don't think it's going to happen. Max versus Kenzie is a big match in the making, probably the biggest on Power. Yeah, I mean, and that probably, that very well could be the main event for NWA. Not the main event, but the women's title match at 76 could be Max and Kenzie. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to hold my breath for that, but it very well could be. Double D, what's going on with your basement, man? Get that taken care of. A few weeks ago, your boy Jay had we have a tankless water heater, but the filter cracked. And so water was just shooting out of the garage for a good 2 hours while I was at the gym with my wife, and we didn't even know it. So we get home and things were flooded and everything was a mess. So I know how terrible that could be. Double D says, not trying to be rude, can Max win the women's championship? So because Max is non-binary, she doesn't adhere to either gender, Max can challenge for any title on the show. I mean, Max would need a tag team partner to go after the tag titles, but Max could challenge for EC3's title. He could challenge. Max could challenge for, Tom Latimer's national title, or Kenzie Page's Women's World Championship. At least that's what it's been indicated to me. Metroplex Wrestling is booking Max to defend the TV title, and it won't be on Power. Yeah, and look, that's still great. I mean, I'm excited that the Max will have an opportunity to defend the television title. But again, if it's not on Power, it really doesn't matter, right? Like EC3 came out here to Southern California, defended the 10 pounds of gold against Honest John in Lake Elsinore, California, my backyard. And match was really, really good, but it doesn't mean anything because it wasn't on Power. It wasn't really explained. Thunder, lightning, big storm here. Sounds like much worse at your place, though. Well, it was fine. We got it fixed relatively quickly and just had to throw away some old cardboard. Nothing too bad. Willie Bone says, Big Swole, Justin Cole would be great addition to the NWA. I'm not familiar with Justin Cole, but I'll take your word for it. Again, I don't think the NWA has a problem like finding talent. I think they just have a problem with using talent. Chris Drummond says, harsh take. I don't want Max as women's champion. I think that's not a harsh take. I think there's a lot of people that would agree with you. Chris also says she has been boring as TV champ. Her first couple of weeks as TV champion I thought were very interesting. The fact that she took the belt to Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling and also defended the title, I believe, in Finland. I think those were two really big deals at the time, but since then it really has slowed down. So we talked about Max needs to be KO'd. All right. So again, we were talking about some of the big names that will be at the NWA 76th anniversary. Of course, the aforementioned Hollywood Haley J and Kylie, I forgot her name now. Oh well. They are both scheduled to be a part of the 76th anniversary show, which they are now advertising the Burke Invitational Gauntlet. And whoever wins that gauntlet will become the number one contender to the Women's World Championship. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of these talents just jump into that one. And, of course, the other match announced for 76 is a grudge match featuring the last two Crockett Cup tournament winners. I'm kind of disappointed here because that means that, one, we're not going to see a World Junior Heavyweight title defense unless Alex Taylor ends up doing double duty. And, two, that means that Blunt Force Trauma does not face either one of these teams at 76, which also makes me feel like we're probably heading to a showdown between the Immortals and Blunt Force Trauma. Again, the Immortals won advanced in the Crockett Cup against the tag team champions. But titles weren't on the line during the Crockett Cup. So that is also something that's a little bit interesting. Willie Swole would need to leave that disease-ridden Shaker Cup in Memphis. Yikes. That's who you're talking about, Justin Cole from Memphis. Okay. A lot of Memphis guys are getting opportunities with the reality of wrestling. I'm just pointing that out. What's next for Natalia Markova? Is she going to win the Burke Invitational Cup, or will she beat Max for the women's TV title, or the Burke at the anniversary show? I mean, that's just it. Like, we don't have any direction, and as of right now, the matches that were filmed back in April don't seem to be, releasing any of the tea leaves. Like, I don't know what's going to happen next. I don't know. I would love to see Markova get a shot at Max the Impaler because of they kind of had a mini feud for a while at Hard Times #3 and in Nolens, in Louisiana. They wrestled, they had that match, and it was for a casket match, and Markova looked good in defeat, and maybe she could pull out those stops again and be the one to take that TV title off. Roswell says Corrigan is killing and burying the TV titles. Thumbs down. Yeah, I can't really argue with you on that. I haven't seen with Max is holding both of those titles, it really bottlenecked both divisions, and we haven't seen a lot of momentum from either side. The last time Max defended the women's television championship again was, a match that was filmed in April on this episode of Power. The last time she defended the men's television champion, I think, was back probably similar around April against Magic Jake Dumas. So hasn't been a whole lot to even be excited about. Chalmette. See, you notice how I used the just Louisiana. I didn't go with Chalmette because I didn't want to say it incorrectly. Thanks for that, Matthew Underwood. And then Sean says Baron Von Storm and the Claw versus EC3 should be the main event of the anniversary. Really, Sean? That's the match you want to pick for your main event at the anniversary show? Because, to me, I don't think the person who should be challenging for the 10 pounds of gold is currently on the NWA roster. I think it would be Richard Holiday. If they let me make the choice, I'm picking Richard Holiday. But, of course, they're not asking my decision. And the match on Power made me stop watching the rest of the episode. I haven't watched Power yet, so I don't know what you're speaking of, but I'm sure I'll know it when I see it. The Claw. All right. Okay. But let's talk about tonight's Power because you guys are already talking about it. Of course, we have the television title will be on the line with Maxine Paler takes on Ella Envy. Of course, in Ella Envy's corner will be Ms. Star. And in Maxine Paler's corner, you've got Father James Mitchell. And I don't know. I mean, you guys aren't really hyping the matchup too much. Ella Envy did have I felt like a really good outing against Kenzie Page at the Crockett Cup. We'll have to see what she's able to do on tonight's episode of Power. Roswell isn't really thrilled about it. I'll hold my judgment until I see it. Then we also have a Southern Six will be in action. And again, it's very interesting that the pairing that we have here, it's Silas Mason and Alex Taylor taking on Baron Von Storm and Jack Dane. Now, interestingly enough, Silas Mason was originally scheduled to be teaming with Kerry Morton at the Crockett Cup. Alex Taylor was originally scheduled to be challenging for the World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Things obviously didn't go as planned because Silas Mason was not at the Crockett Cup, and Taylor ended up teaming with Kerry Morton in that matchup. Now, Baron Von Storm and Jack Dane, they haven't really had a lot of success as a tag team in the NWA as of late. So it'll be interesting to see how that one all plays out. I'm not hoping for much there, but it's interesting because this match was filmed back in April and they're doing some time traveling here. The accountability, the teamwork, all that stuff. It's like you built up Taylor and Morton at the Crockett Cup. Now you're giving us Silas and Taylor. It's just a little odd. Again, it is what it is. Noob says, Thrillbilly Silas Mason just spoiled the Iron Claw. The Claw is what killed the Von Erichs. I think a lot of bad life decisions are what killed the Von Erichs. Ella's a star. Hope she got her boots strapped tight. Yeah, I mean, she's going to need them. Can't need them. You're the irresistible force moving the immovable object. Double D says, I want Shelton Benjamin to come to the NWA. I've been working on a little video that I shot in San Francisco about that, and I too would like to see Shelton Benjamin a part of the NWA. But getting back to tonight's show, and then, of course, we have the finals for the U.S. Tag Team Championship, Daisy, Kill, and Talos taking on the Fixers. Now, what should be noted about this is that, the Fixers haven't really teamed a whole lot in 2024 on Power. They haven't had a lot of matches together. They were eliminated early from the Crockett Cup. They were, I believe they were eliminated by Maxine Paler and Judias, and their other match was they took a loss. So the Fixers really as a tag team haven't done a whole lot. I don't know that they've even done enough to warrant this opportunity to wrestle for the U.S. tag titles, whereas Daisy and Talos they have a couple of impressive victories over the Butterflies, in fact, they beat the Fixers to win that opportunity to first challenge for those tag titles. So I'm expecting another tag team title victory for DAISY, Kill, and Talos, making them the 2-time U.S. tag team champions. Either way, we know that there's going to be 2-time U.S. tag team champions at the end of the night. So that's kind of setting up for what's next for Power. Let's see. More of your guys' comments. Roswell says you'll see what he means during the episode with that claw statement. Okay. Like I said, I haven't seen it, so it's still new to me. And the Six should have the U.S. tag belts, dominate the mid-cards, sell merch. They need better merch, too. I definitely think the Southern Six should have those tag titles. Silas Mason is your Joe Kazana Promotions NWA Southeast Heavyweight Champion. You got Alex Taylor holding on to the World Junior Heavyweight title. Kerry Morton and Taylor, or Kerry Morton and Silas holding those U.S. tag straps, I think would definitely add to the lore that is the Southern Six. Willie says Talos versus Ben Bishop. Talos is a big dude. Ben Bishop is a big dude. Talos hasn't really thrived as a singles wrestler in the NWA. You know, they fed him to EC3, who beat him relatively easy. And I don't know what the plan with him going forward is. It just, you know, I feel like Talos is going to be Daisy Kill's tag team partner until they decide not to use them anymore. Sean Mega says, who is Only Slams? The Only Slams, I guess, is going to probably be Only Slams will probably be what's his name? I'm drawing a blank on his name. The dude that used to be in the Spectaculars. I think it's silly. Like this is so reminiscent of the kayfabe cocktails and all the other shenanigans that they had back in the day, which maybe means it's going to work out for the best. But you know, there's a couple of Thrill says Bishop is only 5'6". Not Rush Freeman, the other guy, Dak Draper. Well, Dak Draper might be a good way to go. No, the other guy that was in the Iron Claw. I can't remember his name. Not Dak Draper, although he would make a lot of sense too. The other guy, the Michael P.S. Hayes of the Claw. Rolando Freeman is a legitimate farce. I thought you said Force Willie, and I was about to lose my S on you. Brady Pierce, that's the name, Matthew Underwood. Brady Pierce. Brady Pierce has kind of already been in that role of like hunky, you know, telenovela star, soap opera type wrestler. I wouldn't be surprised if that's him under the Only Slams, but Dak Draper would make a lot of sense too. The Spectaculars 2.0 is just all over the place, man. Like they didn't even announce Rush Freeman leaving the company or anything. He just was gone. Joe Kazana talks about JCP on the show. Oh, that's good, man. Look, Joe Kazana Promotions is a very, very interesting product. And like I said earlier on in the show, Joe Kazana Promotions is what I feel like the NWA should be. It would make a lot more sense to me that way. It just, so far it is what it is. And it's not overwhelmingly, showcased by the NWA. But again, I think that's a flawed idea anyways. I feel like you have a channel, a YouTube channel. Let's see. Now I'm kind of curious as to how many subscribers does NWA's YouTube channel have? Because they have the NWA's YouTube channel has 277,000 subscribers. They have over 20 million video views, right? And they're still earning like 2,000 subscribers in the last 30 days. So based on that analytic alone, if you had used this channel to, again, occasionally feature matches from Power over the last year, but then really hype up your territories and have this be the home of the territories, have all the territory matches come through this channel, I feel like you'd be better off. I feel like everyone would probably make more money. The NWA would earn more money, and that money can be distributed to the promotions that are providing the content, and getting more subscribers. We get more eyeballs on everything. It's just, I don't know. I could be wrong here, but I feel like that is a smooth move for the NWA. Whether that does or not, yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Rolando Freeman couldn't beat Danny DeVito or the Keeler Elves. Rosville says 1.8 subs for JCP. And again, as somebody who does YouTube content creation, I am not the world-renowned expert. I'm not Mr. Beast. I'm not Gary Vee. I'm not any of these guys. But I can tell you this. If JCP has 1.8 thousand subscribers on their channel and the NWA channel has 227,000 subscribers, I think just by putting those matches onto the NWA channel would generate more positive views, more interest, and more watch time for both. And like, look, if you don't want to put the whole show up there, maybe just matches, just some of the matches from the territories. I don't know. I guess I don't have the answers for them, but that's what I would do. If you search NWA, you'll never find the wrestling show. Yeah, it's got to be NWA Wrestling. The 80s gangster rap group kind of hurt your opportunity to find NWA with ease. Rosville says 1.8 thousand subscribers. And that's great. Think about this. The Alliance Blog channel has almost 5,000 subscribers. 5K. And we don't run first run wrestling shows. We talk about wrestling here. I mean, we have clips from wrestling shows all across the world, which is another great selling point for the channel. But think about that, man. Why do we have 4,000 more subscribers than Joe Kazana Promotions? That's crazy. And think of it this way. Joe Kazana Promotions, which literally airs pro wrestling, real wrestling. Well, not, you know what I mean. Actual shows, has 1.8 thousand subscribers. Veamos Lucha Libre. My Lucha Libre themed channel that I've gone to Mexico City and Tijuana and shot video clips on this phone and put up on YouTube has 1,000 subscribers. That's bonkers to me. What is going on? Do you guys follow me? All right, so okay, that's a short amount of time, but even like I think my channel started I want to say maybe in 23. I wonder if I could look it up real quick. It's just it's weird to me. You guys follow that? Does it seem weird to you, or am I the only one? Veamos Lucha Libre. Let's see. Well, that's okay. So it doesn't have a social rank yet, but let's see. The Veamos Lucha Libre channel, my Lucha Libre channel, has 179 uploads, has 434,607 video views, and was created on April 10th, 2023. April 10th, 2023. It only took like 15 months to hit 1,000 subscribers. I mean, what does that say about? I don't know. I don't want to say anything discouraging about Joe Kazana Promotions. I like Joe Kazana Promotions. I want them to be successful, but interesting, right? Let me see here. Let's see. That's bonkers to me. How do they have less? I know we're winding down the show anyways, but like, yeah, my channel is a year younger than theirs, and they only have 800 more subscribers. Now they have less uploads too, but they have a significantly less video views. So I don't know. Hey, Joe Kazan, you want to hire me? Yeah, definitely. Everyone should be signing up for the Joe Kazana promotions. They should be subscribed because, again, it's great. It's a great show. It's a short show. It's a very fun content. It's not a hard watch. You watch, like we were doing watch-alongs here on Thursdays for a while, and I felt like it was a much easier to watch product. To me, in a lot of ways, it was better than Power. It had some of the best elements of Power already there. Willie says, I support all the territories. Good for you, Willie. That's awesome. That's great. Well, I think that's going to do it for us, guys. I really do appreciate you guys being here each and every Tuesday. Of course, we'll be back on Thursday, the Alliance Guys podcast. Again, that's Jaden, DKM, and myself. And we're going to be talking, of course, about Power. We're going to be talking about a lot of the same things we spoke about here. But also, we're going to be doing some wrestler reviews, some grades. We're going to be handing out grades. Professor Jaden has set up a scoring system, and we'll see. Where does your favorite wrestler stand in the eyes of the Alliance guys? I think you might be surprised. And that was a lot of unintended rhyming. But again, we'll talk more about that on Thursday. And of course, stay tuned to the Alliance guys. The Alliance blog podcast available on all your podcasting streaming services like Amazon or Apple or anywhere you're listening to that audio content. But thanks again for tuning in, guys. I do appreciate you being here. And until next time, we'll see you at the matches. Thanks for checking out the pre-party, a presentation of Alliance-Wrestling.com. You should hit that subscribe button and join our community. I also want to remind you that we recap NWA Power every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the live stream. We try to stay social, so find us at the Alliance blog. And until next time, we are the Alliance.